Just staying late. Dr. G. Oh my God. I woke up late.
I figured it was something like that, but yeah.
And there's a lot to talk about. Do you know what's going on in the news today?
Well, you sent some link about the other lady, the
Don't even talk about it because I don't know. It's all
Okay.
starting now.
It's coffee talk with Adika. Nothing rhymes with that but chicken tikka. We name drop here with Stefan and all his friends.
You know what? Do you know, like, I'm not a political guy
Mhm.
at all. So for a disclaimer right now, what I'm going to talk about, I don't know much about this. I know this channel's no, so they go deep and because you should study and study this and study that. It's just a conversation. This is me and Dr. G having a conversation. Whatever Dr. G rants and whatever comes up, give me time. I'll pull up pictures and try to put them in here to make the story flow because I woke up late. I'm not doing my job. So thank you for being a member here. Thank you for joining today. It really helps this channel grow. And if you get nothing out of this conversation and you're saying, why the heck am I here? It's to make you laugh. That's what I'm trying to do. That is really why I'm here. Just want to put a smile because laughter is the best medicine. And I figure if I could do that, I have a doctor with me and he approves the laughter.
I do. Good for you. Very much so.
We got to laugh more. So back in the day when I was a kid, you know, politicians, there's always decadence going on. You know, Kennedy, good looking guy. He had a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on. You know, he's like a rock star, good hair.
He was,
You know, chicks, power, Kennedy, White House. You know, he could do it all.
Yep.
You know, and then, but you never hear about the women doing like, you know, like a woman like this, like beautiful lady. Great. Remember Golda right there? Huh?
Yeah,
You remember her?
That's oh gosh, yeah, from a long time. How long ago did she pass? I mean, wow.
Great, right?
She's a blast from the past. Yes.
Prime Minister of Israel, right? Right there.
I don't know what
Golda
did.
See, look how she's forgotten.
Like
Powerful,
some new expose
Golda
or
Meir.
something.
I think I said the name right. I remember her all the time. As a kid watching the news, you'd watch this, you feel safe. You feel safe with a woman like that. Like
correct.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
there's no scandals.
There's no scandals. This woman is like, you have no bad thoughts about her.
Right.
She'll make you matzo ball soup.
Yes, exactly.
She'll make you feel good. It's like, oh, we're at Golda's house.
Yeah.
Feel safe. Wonderful lady. You know, and then I go on the internet, I look and I see politicians and I see what they look like, you know, and I'm looking and you see a woman like this and like, hey, this one looks, you know, a little dirty. My wife's not around. It's like I'm thinking, look at this piece. You know what I'm thinking? Like, oh, boy, she ain't like this. You know, I'm kidding. No thoughts like this. And then there's another lady that's out there, and you know, this got two sides of the party right now in the news. It's very interesting. You got a woman, a Virginia Democrat, you know, in the key state House race, you know, and she's running over there. Susanna Gibson. We'll get to her picture. I don't have a normal picture. If I do, I have a normal picture.
Normal picture.
Well, when I say
not
normal,
the ones that are,
I need to have a normal picture. Okay, so I'll have to find it. Yeah, you just look her up.
She's a nurse practitioner, so yeah.
Yeah, she's a nurse. You know about her. Then you have this lady here, and she's, you know, a nice lady right here. This is Lauren, I think Boebert.
Boebert,
yeah. You know, she's hardcore. She's the other side.
Right.
She's red. She has guns.
Very.
You don't mess with this woman.
No.
Look at her. Even her boots yell Trump.
They pretty much do, don't they? Yeah.
Look at that. Look at her. Look at the face of that. She'll take you in a room and she'll go, Dr. G, pull down your pants now. You know, you don't pull that. You do it. Like, she'll control. Look at her. Look at her. She ain't messing around. Now, that Goldie, she's making matzo ball soup. You feel safe. Even this lady right here, Miss Warren, look at her. You feel safe with a woman like this.
Absolutely.
Right? She's a nice lady.
She is.
Now, when you cross the line, where Stephen is going with this, everybody? Well, Miss Gibson, she's a Virginia Democrat and very nice lady, and she is sharing pornographic videos. Like, she was going online.
Right.
this Democrat. Like, and that's all. You know, is it considered porn when you're doing it with your other half, and you're like, hey, let's just show the world how to make love, as you would say, free the nipple. Well, she freed the nipple, all right.
Right.
She was broadcasting, and she had over 5,000 followers, about 5,700. Look at how Stefan is so involved in this. He doesn't know what her causes are to make the country better. He knows what.
Yeah.
She's streaming like OnlyFans, but not on OnlyFans. There's other sites. I haven't heard of these sites.
I
I
know.
didn't even know they existed.
Exactly.
This is the only time I could actually look at one of these sites and my wife would go, what the hell's going on? And how did I find this news out?
Doing research, honey.
My friend Eric Singer sent me this stuff, and I thought he was joking. I wasn't even going to open it. He sent it to me. I'm like, come on, this is like bullshit. This can't be real. Well, apparently, it's so crazy. I even sent it to my father. He goes, let me see. My father.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Finally, you're talking about something I want to see more of.
No, we had no. You know what? This woman brought peace between my father and I. It was the first time I had a phone conversation with my dad,
right,
without fighting.
Good.
What? Because my dad's real. He's real on the other side. You can't even talk politics with him. He goes crazy. Really? Me, I don't. I just want what's good for the country. But I got to tell you something. This woman has my vote because my dad is like Israel and Lebanon fighting. It's never going to get better. It's like the Israeli wars. My dad made peace. This woman made peace for this Democrat. So she's got my vote. She's a candidate in the Virginia House district, and her and her husband had performed sexual acts, as I'm saying, live streaming it, websites describing sharing those videos as the worst gutter politics. I'm reading this right here. All right. The Washington Post exposed this. So last Monday, she wants the control of the Virginia General Assembly. All right. Well, she controlled something. She's a nurse practitioner, as you say, right? And
the Democrats want to regain control of the House in Virginia so they don't pass all the horrible Republican laws, and so so it's a good goal. But again, and she has all the right to do whatever videos with her husband she wants, and if they can make money doing it, obviously maybe it's something they love, just like we were talking about. And I actually don't.
There she is. Look at that.
See, and so clearly she knows she's on camera. I don't think there's any question about that. And so. It's 30.30. That's where she should start her advertising campaign. I don't know, but would I be making videos like that and running for politics? I know it would have to come out. You'd have to know it would become a political free game. I mean, because you don't have that many videos apparently or followers so it's a well-known thing that she's doing this. So it's a fascinating thing, because would you say, gosh, let me be part of a Pornhub or whatever they're part of, and run for politics? Wow, that's a dicey situation. I'm willing to put it out there, apparently. So,
you know what? If you go on her website, I didn't pull up all the pictures. It's the perfect family. Her children, she got a beautiful, beautiful family. Everything. Good. She's out there strolling now. Like they even had pictures of her in a Daisy Duke shorts. She's like nothing happened. I went looking for the clip of this great video because it's gone now. It's removed.
Right. I said,
it's gone. But it was posted on Monday. This 40-year-old nurse practitioner running for office, and she put out more than dozens of videos with her husband on a porn site called Chatterbait or something like that. Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah. And the videos, she was getting not only this, but she was getting tips from the viewers.
Right. About
in exchange for performing sex acts. And then 2 recordings she says is raising money for good cause.
Again, charity starts at home. Who knows? That's
the video is pretty heavy. The guy that clip that I put up here, right here, I don't know if I'll get blocked, but this after she's done, he came a little too fast. She was upset about it.
Oh my gosh!
There's some guy out there right now watching that video at the moment saying, I'll make her feel better. It's like sending them.
Yeah, I know it is a fascinating.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
again, I'm glad we're getting past. What we're trying to do is get past this puritanical, and this. I think she's really trying to make this point about women having the right to do what they choose to do. So again, in all the red states, they're trying to again misogynistic, take away a woman's right to choose what she wants to do with her own body. And she says, listen, this is what I choose to do with my own body, and I get to do this. My body, my husband, I can do what I want. It's quite a stance to take, okay? And I'm actually all for her doing it. I don't know if it's politically the best stance to take, because there's still a lot of puritanical type women and men on both sides of the street, so to speak. And so it really is a fascinating move. In the end, it's about women claiming their right as womanhood. Can they choose to do this? Because it's obviously not illegal to do any of these things. Okay.
No.
Oh, well, she has to know what the state laws are, I'm sure, as far as that goes, but it's not illegal, I don't think, in most states for her to do any of the things she's doing. So why is it political fodder? Because that's the whole point, is because it's considered whatever, reprehensible by some people or something. And so but it's a great moment for women's rights, because that's what she's standing for. Not just the right to have her choose her body, to who she has sex with, if she has to have an abortion for whatever reason, and again, but chooses to have one, has to have one. That is a woman's right that is being, again, attacked in this country. And so again, so go for it. Women's rights. Is it a tough road to hoe? Yes, it is. But somebody's got to be the trailblazer. So before you know it, all of them will look like her or Boebert or whomever, as far as that goes. But they're claiming their own femininity, sexuality, and that isn't going to be an issue anymore in the future, because again, it's not. Right now in this country, that is not true. There are huge forces to take away women's rights.
Well, you know what, Dr. G, you said it better than me. I mean, I guess
Mhm.
she's not doing anything
Mhm.
bad, right?
No,
Yeah,
there's
and
nothing bad about that. It's like, I think, the Ricky Gervais in his comedy he used this, like, instead of saying that's offensive, you need to say I am offended, and I would take it even further. I choose to be offended. So if somebody chooses to be offended over that, go party in your own home. You can choose to be offended, but a woman expressing her sexuality is not. Is it porn? Like you were just saying, it was a great question, right? And so and again, it would be depends on how you choose to go for that. So hopefully people are willing to let her express her unique feminine sexuality, because it has nothing to do with, hopefully, her stance and her views, which is to take care of women and her entire district, no matter what the issues are, down to plumbing or whatever.
yeah,
So, and that's the key, is that she what are her, because I don't know what her other political stances are. I know she feels strongly about women's right to choose. Okay. And so and for women's rights, and that is a cause that needs huge support. And so
yeah. I mean,
and
yeah,
so
yeah, she's a nice lady, and
right.
she wants to have justice for the,
Hmm.
she wants to have education,
Right.
and she wants to have a normal world for us. This
Right.
lady,
Right.
her husband's a local attorney, and
Hmm.
they have
Right.
2 young children
Right.
in Virginia,
Right.
and she's a
But I wonder
lifelong,
what a crisis if let's say the husband was running, let's say these very same videos out there, would
yeah.
they be releasing them? I don't know. Would it have the same political impact? I'm guessing, and they would have far less political impact on the guy, because, like, wow, look how beautiful his wife is. Of course they're releasing videos. See, it's a completely different view when the woman does it, right? And so that's the interesting thing, is that it would be viewed, somebody would have to
I
do the
mean,
data, but it would be
yeah.
viewed differently.
Yeah, I mean, this one went to University of Virginia and Columbia University. She's a
Mhm.
long Democrat, born
Right.
and raised in Virginia.
Right.
And, she wants just the world to be a better place.
Good.
And she went from this to that
To
place.
that place, and so she looks happy.
She looks happy. She looks happy. And she's
I guess
happy there.
until he came too fast, apparently, but
Yeah.
and
And
then it
then
was like, you know,
And
took care
then
of
she
herself.
went, yeah, then she actually went really hardcore. I mean, she had to
Mhm.
get tipped because
Mhm.
she goes, "Should I show them what you did?" And then she
Mhm.
showed him, all right.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
showed more
So
than what she showed what goes
I
on.
bet, but again, that's the it's how do we raise our kids in terms of Leo had pajama day at his kindergarten, right? And
Yeah.
so and he wore these ones with hippos, okay, and sort of like that. And there's some pink in the color, and I didn't even think about it, but some kid on the bus, oh, those are girls' pajamas, and so we talked about these aren't girls' pajamas, they're just pajamas. I'm wearing pink today. Pink has nothing to do with it, but the societal influence up till this 6 or 7 year old, oh, you're wearing girls' pajamas. That's the negative influence of kind of this misogynistic world that we're teaching our kids. Can we get past that? So because he was just wearing pajamas with hippos, so happened to have some pink in it,
Yeah.
and so again, it goes so deep. We don't realize how to our core these trainings. That's why the current world movement about the banning the books and attacking women's rights is so important about going into this very dark past that we have, and as a whole society, not just in America. And so yeah, we're trying to train him to be comfortable with who he is, whatever color he chooses, whether he has you know pink on his pajamas or whatever else like that. And there's a whole bunch of people teaching the same old misogynistic ways of being, and so she's trying to really push through that. So that's why I think she's taking a very tough road to hoe, because she had to know this was going to become political fodder. You don't put this stuff out there as a politician and not know it's going to come about.
Well, you know what?
You know.
She wants good for the country, and she's even
Mhm.
wrote on her webpage, "I have dedicated my career to ensuring my patients have the resources they need for a good
Mhm.
quality of life. I have seen firsthand how important access to affordable quality healthcare, including healthcare is for all," she says. "As your
Yep.
delegate, I will continue to fight for you, your families, and your community." Well, you know
Right.
what? She's fighting. She's getting tips. She's going to raise money for everybody. You're
She's
doing
getting
a good
tips.
job. You're doing
Not
a,
just
I
the
don't know
tip.
what she's
She's
doing
getting
something
more
right.
than the tip.
I know
But
she's got my vote. Now we go to the other side.
okay.
All
Yes.
right, all right. This is something that, you know what, a
Mhm.
lady like this, you're not going to see this happen over
I
here. At
doubt
least
she's
type of
ever going to
woman.
take down neither of
No,
these would take this route. I
no,
guarantee
no,
you.
no. And I don't know anybody watching this. If you get
Mhm.
offended, I'm sorry. Turn the
Right.
channel. If you're enjoying this, give us a thumbs up. Put your comments down below. If we don't see you in the chat, if you're a
Right.
member, you could chat with us. So
Right.
please tell me what you in the chat. Talk to us. What do you
Right.
think about the
What do you think
situation?
about
It's
this?
just an open conversation.
Right.
I don't care
Because
what side politics
right.
you are. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
I like everybody else. I want good for all. And if
Right.
you smiled from this episode,
Right.
give us a thumbs up. At least we did something. If we annoyed you, just go. I
Yeah.
understand. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
Stefan can be annoying, not
I
me, of
could be
course.
annoying. I could be annoying. Now let's go to the other side. Here, you got this nice. Is it Boebert? How do you say her
Boebert,
name?
yeah.
Boebert. Nice lady right here. This is
Mhm.
what's trending today. Look at
Mhm.
these nice ladies right
Yeah.
here. So, I mean, you got two sides of the
Mhm.
coin here, and I mean, she's a nice lady. You got two sides over here.
Right.
What's this lady's story?
Yeah.
Well, how old is she? She's 36 years old. She's
There you go.
36 years old, Bob. Yeah,
Good for her.
36 years. Young. I think
Mhm.
she's a grandmother, if I'm
Is
not
she?
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she might be a grand. That's crazy.
Mhm.
She just recently broke up with her husband.
Mhm.
And
Right.
this is a lady who's, I mean, she's the opposite of the other lady. She likes guns. She doesn't mess
The
around.
opposite of the other one,
She's
yes. Yeah.
she's
No,
like,
she's definitely not
look at
for
her.
women's rights.
Oh, she's tough. Look at the
Sorry.
walk. You don't
Um,
mess with her. Um, you know, she's all America, and oh,
right.
she's tough. You think
Yeah.
she's into the Proud Boys and all that stuff too?
Uh,
What do you?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that she is this again retro version of America, throwing it, making it quote unquote great again, and throwing around the flag and the imagery, and again this. This view that women are less than is what that party is about, and so therefore that is what she's part of, and so
She's dead.
and some so she is part of that movement. But again, when it comes to in her real life, she's willing to express herself, which is again, it shows that the political stance is not consistent with who they are as a humans, which once again it goes into the hypocrisy of that group.
Okay. I'm going to share something with you. So the other day, she was, I guess, thrown out of seeing a show. She was vaping
Right.
originally, but then
Right.
there's more to vaping. There's
There's-
groping with her friend,
Yeah.
who her friend
Mhm.
is not a Republican. Supposedly, her friend owns a club, like a trans club, and
Oh,
totally
really?
opposite.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Well,
No.
this is from TMZ right here. Let me see if I can pull
Yeah.
up my screen share with you and the audience. You didn't see
Yeah.
about the groping video about all this?
Well, I know about the video. I didn't know who he was. I didn't, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's take a look first. Let's see if I can get this for you guys. Oh, there it is. There. Look at that. I can't believe I did it. There she is. Lauren, as it says, reaches across the aisle for 2 handfuls of the date's crotch. Check it out.
I love it.
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
If that guy is, and I have nothing wrong with being gay, he seemed very gay. The word gay, he's very happy.
Exactly.
Look at her reaching down there.
Right.
Huh?
No.
She's looking for a gun.
Well, it goes into, that as
Look
a
at
real
that.
woman, does she enjoy being touched? Yes. And touching a man, which is fine. It's just the political stances she takes are the exact opposite of that, and about doing this in public, of course, and etc. So it just goes into the hypocrisy of what it takes to take the stances that the party she's part of has to take. So
Now,
yeah, and so
right
whereas,
here.
whereas the other lady would actually have put this on and tried to make money out of it. Do you think? What do you think I should have done, everybody? And so
It's right here. She's saying in TMZ at 5:06 p.m. she's breaking her silence on the theater incident. Now, before this, everybody watching, she was vaping. A woman was asked if she could move her seat. She was like, and there's cameras everywhere. The past few days have been difficult and humbling, and I'm truly sorry for the unwanted attention my Sunday evening in Denver has brought to the community.
Right.
While none of my actions or words as a private citizen that night were intended to be malicious or meant to cause harm, the reality is they did, and I regret that. All right. She regrets that.
Right.
Man.
And whoever wrote that for her, because that's again,
that's not her. That's
whoever wrote that for her, did a good job. And she was able to read them and not, and so because but in the end, what she did, although many
look at her vaping, look at the vape.
Yeah, exactly. So
the grope.
Yeah. And it shows a general lack of caring for anybody else around them, of course. Okay. So, because in a public environment, do you do things like that when you're watching some show? In general, no, obviously.
That's her leaving. That's when she got thrown out. Look at her.
And see, look how happy she is. And so, see, she's the other videos, she's always scowling. So at least see, so.
You know what? It's funny you just picked that out. She's never looking. Look at look at that. She doesn't look that thrilled. Look,
no,
even there,
no, even there,
But
so, finally, yeah. So
look
that
see
exactly. So
you pointed that out.
Yeah. She's a happy woman now. So that's what the Democrat means about healthcare for her patients. Like but sexual health is actually part of being healthy. So, so I don't know. Did they get, as part of her clinic, they get free tips? So, it's funny, people need to lighten up about their, their bodies and sexual health and things like that. And again, that's what trying to overcome this puritanical heritage and things that people are afraid of, including the woman's body and everything else like that. So, again, it's
let me see over here.
Faster than I think most people are willing to do it. But
here she is. I didn't mean.
Yeah, she obviously wasn't trying to make a statement. This happened to her accidentally, whereas the other lady obviously is right out there.
You got a commercial here. You got to get through that. There's a video of her walking out. I want to see how she walks out really quick. Let this commercial play right here, and you could see. Let's see this right here. Okay, but look at all the people. You see her right there? She got asked to throw. Look, they're asking her to leave.
This is where they're asking her to leave. Yes.
Yes.
I know at some point she says, "Do you know who I am?" And it's like, yeah, but doesn't it change if you're a senator? Sorry, excuse me, a representative. That you're not supposed to do these things in the middle of the theater, so including the vaping. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
it's a yeah.
She flipped that.
Right.
She flipped off the theater employee on walking out too.
Not
That's
not too surprising.
yeah. So there she is.
Mhm.
Look, so this is because of the vaping. They didn't even know about the groping.
Right.
Now these people paid for a ticket to
Mhm.
watch Beetlejuice, the show, and
Right.
having a good. They don't want to see his juice. They want to see a show.
They want to see Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Right.
And you can see. Look at the people next. Look at her walking out. She doesn't look regretful, like an apologetic when she walked out here. She's saying, "Look at her. She's getting all Brooklyn on people."
Exactly.
That's the door, lady. Just go.
Yeah.
Just go, lady. Just get out of here, lady.
Yeah.
Those mother effers. Fix her shirt.
Fix that because they're obviously those have been.
She gave the finger right there. She gave the finger. Come on. Look at her. She's yelling. Do you know who I am, you mother effer?
Right.
Yeah, I'll bring you all down. That's what she's saying. You don't mess with me.
No,
Just
again,
shaking her head. Get her out of here. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Wait till you hear from this, her friend.
Yeah.
He even took his popcorn with him, I think.
Right. Oh, good. He did pay for it,
Paid for it. Get that. There they are walking. Look at this. She's still yelling.
Yeah.
She goes, "Do they know who I am?"
They're going to remember this night, so even more than if they stayed through the entire show. So the biggest thing it really comes down to that she has the right to express herself as a woman. Again, not in that setting. I don't know how many kids are in the audience, et cetera, et cetera. So, there's a time and a place for everything, but certainly not vaping in the middle of the show that she knows she's not supposed to do it. So there it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And her date.
Right.
And her date, right?
Yeah.
He is right here. It says he's an Aspen bar owner, a Democrat.
Yeah.
All righty. Nice guy.
Right.
He's into everything she's against.
Right.
So this, this shows me that two sides can get along.
See, exactly. There's things we can come together over, but that's the whole point when we're trying to legislate what women do with their bodies and things like that. That clearly not part really of who she is. It's just a stance she has to take. And so and that goes into the hypocrisy of some groups, and so
look at them going. They're still holding hands.
Exactly.
And at the bottom over here, TMZ goes, who knew Beetlejuice was such a turn on?
Yeah,
This should do wonders for the future ticket sales. There they are.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they're gonna go and have a good time. And she looks good.
Yeah.
She looks like all happy.
Yeah. Again, she's dressed just to look a certain way, and she's playing it. So let her be a full woman. Be a full. Be who you are. And if you want to embrace your sexuality, embrace it. So
doing right for the country.
Right.
Doing right. Well,
so it is kind of hilarious though. I didn't know he was a complete Democrat or had these other kinds of bars or anything else, which just makes it even better. And like that joke about reaching across the aisle, but obviously the Democrat and the Republican can agree on something,
Oh, they are two opposites, got two opposite beliefs.
Right.
She's against all,
Yeah.
The one side, she's posting pictures of her. She has more guns in the U.S. Army. I mean, she's insane. But you know what? It goes back to this. The question I have to ask everybody watching. Do you want that in office, or you're looking for somebody like this in office? Put your comments down below.
Yeah.
I would love to always hear what do you feel. Who do you feel safer with being in office?
Well, Elizabeth Warren is brilliant, so obviously she, and that is not the understanding. Obviously, if you listen to Boebert speak on anything, there's intelligence is not the first word that comes to mind, and so that she, so she appealed to some just like a base kind of instinctual side of ourselves that obviously plays into her sexuality too, which is a kind of a base part of ourselves. And so whereas the whole idea, especially with our politics, is to look at something that is more transcendent and another side of ourselves, the logical, translogical, not just the primal side of ourselves.
Yeah.
So What you want is people who don't other. They don't create this. Say this is some of the. Oh, that's. I apologize for what I'm doing, and the Democrat person's like, well, this is what I'm doing. you know, it is interesting. She's not hiding from it, which is great. The fact, so the fact that at some point I know she was complaining about the worst guttural politics or something else like that. She had to understand this was going to come about. There's just no way it wasn't. The Democrat from Virginia, Gibson, yeah, and so. And so that's a little interesting, but now that it's out, she's got to go directly into it, and she definitely is. It sounds like,
Yeah.
not shying away from it, not saying, "Oops, I regret these. I accidentally did these, few hundred videos and put them out, or however many there is." Sorry. Yeah.
This is, I was talking to Dice about this as well, and he goes, back in the day, and he said it best, and I go, "Oh my God, that's hysterical." He goes, "Politicians, they look like Maud."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're totally right. They had that type of
exactly.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go after that. But anyway, I mean, you want to take business serious, and you wanted somebody to represent the country, and
Right.
you don't want an animal and this,
Right.
running. But hey, I mean,
yeah. So
what you doing, in your alone time? I knew. I go, these women can't be running in office. If you look too good, you can't be there. Just can't.
There's going to be some, because, well, that's the thing. A woman should be able to look at any way she wants. A guy can be attractive or unattractive. It doesn't matter in politics, really. And so, whereas for the woman, there's so many taboos about, like, for instance, her having a certain way but not wearing a low cut blouse. Well, again, oh my gosh, she's showing off her cleavage. Well, is that wrong? Is it right? Is it, so there were people who would judge her from her own, political party just for wearing the dress she wore, right? And so that is interesting. So is she living true to the values she espouses? No. Now it's those value choices that I think are the issue, not her going out in in that dress or being a sexual human or whatever. So we have to look at
I love how you were a sexual. I call it a sexual animal.
Yeah.
I love how you put it,
Yeah.
but you know what? God bless a nice lady. And you know what? This is the world we live in. And that's that. And that's that. I mean, remember the Anthony Weiner guy? Like he got he got in big trouble.
Yeah, because he was like taking pictures of his dick and sending it to women. What an idiot! I mean, now he can do that as much as he wants, not to people who are willing to accept it. He was doing it in very unacceptable ways, but let's say it's just between him and his wife. Let's say, and that's not what it was. I understand that, but let's say he was sending a dick pic to his wife. Who cares? I mean, and it got out and it's like, oh my gosh, she's sending dick pics. Who cares? So that's, and again, so the issue of sending a dick pic wasn't it? It's who and how and all the other things he was doing it to. And then that did cost him, because that was he was inflicting that on someone who was not wanting it. And so yes, it goes into this issue we have with our own humanity and sexuality. And so it's again, we're trying to get people to grow up and just like, especially if you look at how they grow up in the Netherlands, etc., with not being afraid to see women naked and men naked and everything else, because nudity is not a sin. Okay. And then once we come to know that, then we are not so taboo about our body parts. We have these discussions. Why is alcoholic drinking in Europe so much healthier than it is in our country? Because it is. The studies show this, by the way. And is it because of any genetic difference? Not really. And is it more about the acceptance, the difference that we are, how we are when we're drinking? Because it's not so many taboos in our society where, again, at Cal Poly, the women soaking their tampons in vodka so that they can get alcohol into their system. Think how perverse that is because of the taboos. Okay. And whereas in another country, they would have grown up with wine and other things since they were 5, and so are we unhealthy because of our taboos? And that's actually the biggest issue. There are issues with alcohol at certain doses, of course, but the issue isn't alcohol, it's our taboos. And how do we get past all that, and that's why this retrogression to bring back the taboos is really quite the concern. There was some group they're trying to keep kids from voting until they're 21, basically because younger people don't vote in this party's direction for obvious reasons. And so, but so think about all the taboos that we have and why are they there, and how do we grow past the ones that really don't work? And so,
Yeah.
but and seriously, and that's true with alcohol. It's true with sex. It's just we're just there's this childish side that wants to hold on to the sides of the tabooness and inflict them on other people. And once we get past that, then we can be healthy with our alcohol, healthy with our sexuality, and not make it about taboos.
Now, Dr. G, just coming in right now, I just pulled something up. You want to know about Lauren Boebert's friend? Right here.
Sure.
Right here. This is right. Let's see. So right here, there he is. And I believe his name right down here, it says it's Quinn Gallagher, the man who was grabbing Boebert's breast as she was grabbing his crotch as they watched the musical, has a bar in Aspen, the Hooch Craft Cocktail Bar, which is he hosts the drag shows right there. That's him on top. All righty. Right. And as it says here, Miss Boebert, presumed boyfriend, is not only a Democrat, but presumably a supporter of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
So the plot just keeps getting thickening there. Right. There it is right there. Right. There's the club. Nice little place he has. They are down there.
Because if it was really part of her core value to be against that community, she wouldn't be dating him no matter how attractive she thought he was. So that shows that it's not, and of course she would deny this, but it shows the very essence of how much you have to lie to keep going after that community when it's not the issue, right? And people will still vote for her no matter what, because she'll say I'm against that community, and she's not, obviously. Okay, so but she'll obviously hammer it into everybody's awareness that she is, but it's not true for anybody. Why would you care if somebody's LGBTQ? Why do you care if somebody's trans? Why do you care? And it's because there's a political party telling you to care. It's crazy,
That's the club. That's the club he owns. All right, nice club. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
so there we go.
If you don't want to go to the drag show, you just don't have to. See how easy that is. You just don't have to go to the hooch bar, the craft cocktails, or the drag shows, and that's how simple our decision making can be, because you don't have to go. So it's and again, it's a personal taboo. Good for you. Just don't inflict it on other people. So it's pretty hilarious. I like it. You can't make it. She goes out with a hoochcraft guy. It's awesome, right? But it shows at the core she's just another human, and the guy they met and had an attraction, and obviously, and they went out, and all that other stuff shouldn't really matter. Okay, but it's just because, again, people portray that it does matter, and so I think, and that's why I think it's the when we talk about the problem with the politics is that there's just most of the people, when Mitch Romney's leaving that and talking about how horrible that is to be in that group anymore, and so again, we just collectively grow up, and it's and have this kindness and compassion for everybody, because I understand what she must be going through, the divorce, and she wants to go date again, and etc. And so what forces have she's become part of that make her act in a certain way, and that's true for people of all different cults and belief systems and things like that. So hopefully we can get people to get past them and have these moments where all of a sudden a House senator in Virginia hopefully will be somebody who sends out videos of her sexual activity with her husband, whether you call that pornography or not, right? And so and then before you know it, then wow, women can have express their sexuality in their own way, and that doesn't keep them from having good political viewpoints. No, it doesn't, actually. And Lauren Boebert can go, and she shouldn't have vaped, but and the other stuff wouldn't have been caught without the vaping, right? So
that's right.
So the other stuff would be just stuff gosh, I mean, I haven't groped a young lady since I was a teenager, right, in a public place like that, because so everybody remembers reaching around for the popcorn, right?
Of course, of
I
course.
mean,
But back then, there was no
come on.
cameras everywhere.
There wasn't exactly, so it's like a little
Uh,
popcorn,
yeah,
So
she's looking for the pop.
she's looking for the popcorn. I mean, he's again. So
But I will say this. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what they do in their privacy of their own home,
Right.
and they're
Right.
probably, they're thrill seekers, having a good
Right.
time. Ooh, look, we're doing something dirty we shouldn't be doing, but
exactly.
nothing wrong with that. We've all done crazy things, but
Right.
this I got a problem with the vaping. Come on, come on, you
Right.
don't need to do that.
Not in the middle of theater,
That's
because it affects
worse.
other people's,
To me, that's worse than anything right here.
Yeah, it's what got her in trouble. Actually, is the vaping, right?
Yeah,
And she can vape on her own, away from other people, all
It's
she
rude.
wants, because
This is rude.
So, and that's what got her in trouble. And then all of a sudden, because they got somehow the videos are out there, and they found these other things going on, which is just hilarious.
It's just hilarious.
so,
yeah.
But it just catches her in her hypocrisy. So
Absolutely.
whereas the other lady has no hypocrisy whatsoever. Oh no, she's mad that it got out apparently, but she's clearly not denying she's done these videos.
She was doing the right thing. She wanted to get tips for her community. That's what she was doing.
She's trying to improve the health of her community.
That's it. There's nothing wrong.
And who can actually argue with that?
I mean, this lady here. I know. You believe what you want to believe, but don't vape. That's like spitting on the floor right next to them. It's just rude. It's just rude. And she's a grandmother. She should know better. Come on.
She should.
You should know better. You should know better. Okay. Well, that's what's trending right now in our world right here. And you know what? That's what's trending today. Put your comments down below. Always love to hear what you have to say, and tell me who you have your vote for. Who do you believe that's good for this country? Me, I gotta go stick with the old matzo ball soup theme women, and you know what? That's what I have to say right there. I think it could be good for us. Trust.
I just want people who care for others, and they're willing to go out there and yes, if it's not political, I'll just say I want people who care for other people, no matter what their beliefs or anything else like that. Support the community, do the right things. If you're going to get into politics, you have to aware that your personal life is going to become part of the political fodder. Yes, okay. But that being stated, be who you are, okay, and don't lie about it, and then you find it won't have to come back on you. Like I said, that's the biggest issue, is that so stay true to who you are, and then whether you're working at the 7-Eleven or a politician or anywhere in between, it's just you got to be who you are, and that way when people catch you doing something, it's like, yeah, that was me. Yeah,
that was
right.
Dr. G, do you think I'm crazy? I wrote an email to Miss Gibson to come on the show. To see what she has to say. Oh yeah. I use Chat GPT because if I write in my Brooklyn way, I'll never get her on. You got to see the beautiful letter I wrote her. Let's see if she comes on. Maybe she'll come and talk to us about this. Tell her her side of the story. I mean, come on, nothing wrong. It's like a science project she was doing over there. That's all. And
she doesn't know you. I'm guessing she's getting a lot of that as far as that goes. But so who knows? But I would hope exactly, and I would hope she would express that she's expressing who she is, and she would make it more, and she would turn the conversation, I hope, to her what she wants to do for her district, because that's what she's really gonna make it about, right?
That's right. It's all about the district,
right?
That's right. Exactly. What district they were going over here, I don't know, but you know what? It's all about the district. Everybody trust your aunt, trust your grandmother, get somebody good in office. You know what? Whatever side of the fence you're on, it doesn't make a difference. You know what? We're all human. Look at that frown. Look at her. Look at it. But then let's just be happy, everybody. Turn that frown upside down. Dr. G, always right here with me.
Good to be here, guys.
Yeah, links for Dr. G. Check out some supplements, which I haven't been lazy and I'm missing. I got to get mine. I'll put the links down there. Click on it. Stay consistent. That's it. And because the good old doctors are not what they used to be. It's hard to find a Dr. G out there. The system is just insane these days.
It is. Yeah.
It is. It's scary times, So maybe Miss Gibson, I like to see Miss Gibson and Boebert in a conversation together.
Right.
Who's more dirtier? That's what I want to know.
Oh my gosh.
Who's more dirtier? That's what I want to know. Put your comments down below. The real truth is, I want to know who is more dirtier. Which one? All right. And for you guys watching, who would you want to be with? Put it in the comments. And for you women, if you like women, who would you want to be with? I gotta, and for everybody else, who do you not want to be with? Just put it in the comments.
Great.
I say all you need is love. A little love, everybody. gotta cover all ends. Was I offensive? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Not at all.
Should my wife be
I don't
mad
think
at me?
any of this is offensive. Like the key is, remember that people would choose to be offended over, right? You know, and that's the key. And people have the choice to be offended, right? But that's make sure whoever you are, whenever you feel offended, remember it is your choice. And if you're happy, it's also your choice. And so that's the key, is us taking personal responsibility. Remember, we started off the show about being in the now. This is present moment and things like that. In this moment, I can choose to feel this. And if I choose to feel offended, then that says more about me than it does about you. Okay, so
exactly. Dr. G, I can't wait to hear what Deb Jackson has to say about this episode. Deb Jackson,
let us know.
Who has your vote? Let us know. Until then, everybody, this is Coffee Talk. Be good to each other, love each other, and always keep smiling. That is Dr. G. We'll see you next Sunday. I make sure I won't be late. For people who were waiting for me, I am sorry. But you know what? Deb Moeller, I apologize. Joe Basher, thank you for joining. Mitch, thank you very much for the super chat. Good to see everybody here. We love you. Patreon to have some good stuff coming up there. I put a secret guest that's coming up there, but I have some good Thursday. I have a legend coming in my interview, and
good secret guest.
Members only on Artist on Record. Yeah, a good one, a really good one.
You're coming back. I know you are.
And I have a good legend coming over there. And I had some great episodes. I had Barry Gibson, Stephen Gibb, Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. We had a conversation. It was great. And I put a clip out of that, but there's more of it in my Patreon and members only. And who else did I have on there? Oh, the guy from Firefall, Jock. He was a great guitar player. He was a character. Had him on.
Awesome.
So we get some cool people, good musicians from the 70s, 80s, and all that. Check out Artist on Record if you love that music. And if you love nonsense, subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know we're doing a great job. You know what's getting a lot of views on this channel is my interview with Ted Bundy's defense lawyer.
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah.
I did it. It's got over 35K views, and the chat, and the chat is going. Everybody's going crazy about it. People love serial killers, so I'm having to do
it. It's Miranda loves that true crime and stuff like that, and so I don't know if she's seen that. I have to ask her.
There's an unedited episode where we talk about everything because he has an interesting story. He was really quick before we go. He was a student, but he was a musician, a bass player, and he was around the scene. Like he was jamming with the Grateful Dead. They all went to the same college, and he almost had a record deal. His band was going to get signed to Elektra Records in the late 60s. So he was like hanging with Jim Morrison, and it's like the Forrest Gump. He's like a rock and roll Forrest Gump. Turns out his cousin is Jackson Brown, who we found out later, and he became friends with.
Cool.
It's really and he had some other big cases where there's a soldier in Afghanistan that ended up having like a breakdown and shot like these innocent people in Afghanistan, like of kids and all that. And he had to go fly to Afghanistan to represent him. And he goes, it was the most scariest trip in the world. And he would listen to Hallelujah, the song Hallelujah by Cohen, and over and over just to get him in the zen because he was scared for his life. Flying there. But one of his first gigs out of college, out of school law practice, was being elected for Ted Bundy, his case. Ted picked him out, kind of stalked him out. Now here's the crazy story. He had a girlfriend in school, the lawyer, Mr. Brown. His girlfriend, they went their own ways, and she would try to help the community. She ended up in Berkeley, the college around this area where Ted Bundy was doing some murders. She ended up in her apartment, found strangled, dead. They never found her murderer.
Oh, really?
Turn the page, go forward. When Ted Bundy hired him to be his defense attorney, Ted knew everything about him. Everything. The car he drove, Ted would come to the office dressed like him. It was really creepy. He tells the whole story in the interview. Ted knew everything. And sometimes this guy would think, did Ted murder my ex-girlfriend? They never found it. It was really crazy. It was very, so the interview is all about a full circle coming and how he was creeped out by Ted. And but you got the chat. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody has their theories. There's
Right.
so it's rocking the chat. It was a great story, and it was a
Awesome.
great interview.
Well,
And
that's great.
so that's a cool.
Hopefully things like that will keep taking off, and you'll get more and more views for everything. And obviously, I think that'll be great.
Very interesting, very interesting. But well, we'll get some more people like that on here. I'm just looking to get the right guests. But in the meantime, you know what? We're always here Sunday to bring you the news and make you smile. And
I love hearing about the news. No, like I said, I knew some of this. That you had brought up the Gibson. I didn't even know anything about that one until you
got to
sent me
make
some
it.
stuff.
I try to take the news and look
Right.
for the humor in it. I'm not trying to be so serious.
And just the human side of it. That's the thing for me. And you got to keep laughing, people. It's such an important part. Laughter is truly one of the best medicines. Is the best one or not, but laughter is definitely one of them.
I'm even thinking about just living life large. Go to Aspen. I might take the whole family to the Hooch Bar and have a good time.
Exactly. And go see a drag show,
Go see.
If you haven't been to at least one drag show, what's going on, folks? I mean, come on, so.
What's funny? When we went to France, we went to Moulin Rouge, and we all went as a family. And it was really fun. It was actually, we went.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with it. We went with Brooklyn. We all went. And there was nothing wrong. Somebody's watching this is going to take it the wrong way, but who cares? It was a fun time. And there's a chat like Amber's in these chats and all these vacation chats, and somebody's like, I wouldn't even let my husband go see Moulin Rouge. There's nothing wrong with it.
Really? Come on.
There was nothing wrong with it. It was like the going to Rockville Center to see the Rocketeers, whatever you want to call those, Rockettes, whatever they're called. Rockettes. There's nothing wrong with it, and people get so crazy. You know what? Fix your wig, everybody. Come on. Get your life together. Loosen up. Stop it. Everybody's you can't say this anymore. You can't say that. You can't be yourself anymore. One thing, if you're watching this channel,
got to be yourself. That's the key.
That's it. Just loosen up. Come on. Take the stick out of your ass, as I did.
Pretty much.
That's it. That's it, right, Dr. G?
We really need that. Exactly.
We really need that.
Because that's the thing is just have your viewpoint. Realize it's your viewpoint and nobody else needs to have it. We have this in the world with like the nutrition and whether you're paleo or you're Mediterranean or vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian or keto or fast. Again, just do you and don't try to make everybody else do it or wrong if they eat whatever. It's like, we don't need the wrongness part of it. Do you, feel well with however you eat, obviously, but that doesn't mean it's going to be that way for anybody else, so just again, and it's so funny how irritating some people could be even about something as simple as their diet, and so lighten up about it, folks, and realize there's some people just aren't going to eat like you. I was just hilarious. We were, it was the day before I flew back home from California to here in Tennessee, and and I do a FaceTime and Leo's at a Sonic Burger. It's like, really? A Sonic Burger? And he's like munching away at a tater tot. But I don't know if I've ever seen anybody enjoy a food more than just those tater tots going in as we're FaceTiming and talking about his recent whatever, going to Target and something like that. But and I had a little stick up on my butt about Sonic, by the way. I did. For that first moment. And then I just saw the tater tots. It's like, let it go, Gary. I said that inside of my head, obviously. And just watch him tell stories and eat tater tots, and so so anyways, that's the whole point, everybody, is again, enjoy your food, enjoy your life,
enjoy your life, enjoy it. That's right.
So but it was really one of those moments too. And I'm sorry, you just made me think about it with a stick up my butt, because there was a little stick up my butt moment when Sonic, and so and then one look at him eating a tater tot is enough to say, okay, he's at Sonic.
He's having a good time. Let me tell you something. I went Friday. I had a good time. I went to the synagogue. It was a Rosh Hashanah. So we go for Brooklyn to make. We're not religious, and Brooklyn and Amber, they do not eat meat. And I'm at the table. And they're bringing the food, the matzo ball soup. Would you like my? And I go, nah, let me be respectful. The chicken broth for the family. But when they brought the brisket, I haven't had the brisket. It was incredible. Nobody at the table was eating the brisket. We're sitting with a couple of other families. They're looking at me. They're like saying, "What the hell is this guy? He's like tattooed. Looks like a hat. I look like a maniac." But when that brisket, I felt like a drug addict. I'm like, just leave the whole plate here. And then the next day, Brooklyn's, at the dinner table, Brooklyn's like, "Oh, you can't eat that." And I was. loving it. I was just
Yeah.
being me.
Right. Exactly.
So the point is,
And again,
everybody eat the brisket.
eat the brisket.
It's
and if somebody else is eating the brisket, and you don't eat the brisket, let them eat the
Let them
brisket.
eat the
Go eat
brisket.
more
I was
matzo balls, whatever. I don't know.
I was eating like I had 2 assholes. Let me tell you something. I was having a great time. But anyway, but that was my Friday. It was a lot of fun and met nice people. It was a really fun time. You know, going out there, branching out of my little hole here, that I have a good time hanging out with you people on YouTube. But it was nice. So for my Jewish friends out there, happy Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Go ahead, have a good time. That's right. Blow your horn today. It's Sunday.
Exactly.
You, my Jewish friends, Mitch Weissman. Have a good one. But anyway, this is Stefan. That's Dr. G. I talk like I'm a third person. This is Stefan.
This is Stefan. That is
Dr.
Stefan.
G.
But
anyway, everybody, have a good Sunday. I'm glad we got able to spread the news, spread the love, and the truth.
And the truth.
That's the truth. All right. We'll see you all next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's coffee talk with Adika. Nothing rhymes with that but chicken tikka. We name drop here with Stefan and all his friends.
Thanks for watching on Coffee Talk Sunday. Subscribe and make sure you click on the cool box that pops up here. We'll see you next week. Be good to each other, my